Greetings, beautiful beings. Welcome to Shelter in the Storm with A Course in Miracles, lesson number 20. Okay, we're up to chapter 2, The Separation and the Atonement, part 3, which is called The Altar of God. There's 2 pages, so we'll just do the 1 page tonight. Okay, so part 3, The Altar of God. The atonement can be accepted within you by releasing the inner light. Since the separation, defenses have been used almost entirely to defend against the atonement and thus maintain the separation. This is generally seen as a need to protect the body. The many body fantasies in which minds engage arise from the distorted belief that the body can be used as a means for attaining atonement. Perceiving the body as a temple is only the first step in correcting this distortion, because it alters only part of it. It does recognize that atonement in physical terms is impossible. The next step, however, is to realize that a temple is not a structure at all. Its true holiness lies in the inner altar around which the structure is built. The emphasis on beautiful structures is a sign of the fear of atonement and an unwillingness to reach the altar itself. The real beauty of the temple cannot be seen with the physical eye. Spiritual sight, on the other hand, cannot see the structure at all because it is perfect vision. It can, however, see the altar with perfect clarity. For perfect effectiveness, the atonement belongs at the center of the inner altar, where it undoes the separation and restores the wholeness of the mind. Before the separation, the mind was invulnerable to fear, because fear did not exist. Both the separation and the fear are miscreations that must be undone for the restoration of the temple and for the opening of the altar to receive the atonement. This heals the separation by placing within you the one effective defense against all separation thoughts and making you perfectly invulnerable. The acceptance of the atonement by everyone is only a matter of time. This may appear to contradict free will because of the inevitability of the final decision, but this is not so. You can temporize, and you are capable of enormous procrastination, but you cannot depart entirely from your Creator, who sets the limits on your ability to miscreate. Thank goodness. An imprisoned will engenders a situation which, in the extreme, becomes altogether intolerable. Okay, we'll leave the text there for tonight. Let's move to our lesson number 20 for my editor. I am determined to see. We have been quite casual about our practice periods thus far. There has been virtually no attempt to direct the time for undertaking them. Minimal effort has been required, and not even active cooperation and interest have been asked. This approach has been intentional and very carefully planned. We have not lost sight of the crucial importance of the reversal of your thinking. The salvation of the world depends on it. Yet, you will not see if you regard yourself as being coerced, and if you give in to resentment and opposition. This is our first attempt to introduce structure. Do not misconstrue it as an effort to exert force or pressure. You want salvation. You want to be happy. You want peace. You do not have them now because your mind is totally undisciplined and you cannot distinguish between joy and sorrow, pleasure and pain, love and fear. You are now learning how to tell them apart, and great indeed will be your reward. Your decision to see is all that vision requires. What you want is yours. Do not mistake the little effort that is asked of you for an indication that our goal is of little worth. Can the salvation of the world be a trivial purpose? And can the world be saved if you are not? God has one Son, and He is the resurrection and the life. His will is done because all power is given Him in heaven and on earth. In your determination to see is vision given you. The exercises for today consist in reminding yourself throughout the day that you want to see. Today's idea also tacitly implies the recognition that you do not see now. Therefore, as you repeat the idea, you are stating that you are determined to change your present state for a better one, and one you really want. Repeat today's idea slowly and positively, at least twice an hour today, attempting to do so every half hour. Do not be distressed if you forget to do so, but make a real effort to remember. The extra repetitions should be applied to any situation, person, or event that upsets you. You can see them differently, and you will. What you desire, you will see. Such is the real law of cause and effect as it operates in the world. So that's our lesson and exercises. Let's go to a year of forgiveness. Jesus commentary for each lesson. I love it. I am determined to see. I love the huge glasses. You are blessed beings indeed. I am that one you know as Jesus. It is an important lesson, this one. You are convinced that you can see. You are convinced that you know exactly what is going on in the world. You are convinced you know exactly what's right and what's wrong, and what should be and what should not be. You are arrogant in that belief, for you are not qualified to make that determination. I am determined to see means you are humble in your acknowledgement that you may not be able to see right now, and that gives you negative emotional feedback from your guidance system. If you look at something, a situation, person, place, or thing, and you feel strong negative emotion, you do not see it correctly, because you come from the ego's judgmental and narrow focus. Your very limited experience with and understanding of spirituality and spiritual principles causes you to assume you know what it means. You do not. That is what your negative emotional feedback will tell you, that you are looking at it incorrectly. You have no choice, currently, on how to look at something. You have been trained to believe certain rigid rules about your current experience that you call reality. Those have been placed in your mind by other beings, generally speaking, although you can come into this incarnation with leftovers from other incarnational experiences. So what you use to try and determine whether what you see is good or bad is a hodgepodge of many different ideas. We seek, through these lessons, to align you with love so that you do not war with the world you see. That is where most of you find yourselves, in a constant state of judgment, fear, and anxiety about survival. You worry what will happen in the future and about your relationships and what they mean. This idea of being determined to see is a wonderful, powerful statement to the universe that you know you don't see things clearly. You can tell because you're not happy and at peace all the time. That is your messaging system telling you so. You may begin to get the idea that now we will push you a little bit more to pay more attention to what goes on in your mind. You will fail at times. You will get frustrated at times. The ego mind will say, "Let us stop these silly lessons." That is why we do this now. It is very important for you to really grasp this year that the outside world is not where you should look for your safety and your happiness. You must go inside and look there in your connection to spirit, in your connection to all that is. I am that one you know as Jesus, and we will see you again tomorrow. Thank you, dearest ones. Namaste.